Alrighty, gents, we are back again with another one of these fantastic and super fun to make videos, and I hope you are gaining a lot of value from them. And today we're touching base on all things when it comes to the pro mindset. Right now, first and foremost, before we delve into it, I hope you're having an awesome week. I hope you're slaying some dragons and the mission is flowing super well. And just also reminding, make sure to click like and subscribe to really support this channel, these videos, and then also to stay tuned when these new videos are uploaded. But let's jump ahead on into it. So obviously I come from a background of, we can say, sports and athleticism, and the idea of the amateur and the professional, and how foundational they are and how applicable they are to life, but also we can say business, entrepreneurship, and really living out our mission. All right, and it really is a mindset shift, and this yes is a way of thinking, but then it's also a way of living. Look at all the best athletes in the world. All right, there's what separates the few? Well, yes, we can say it's most certainly their actions, their behaviors, and the network they have around them. But really, at the end of the day, what brings forward those aspects is their mindset. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's jump ahead on into it. Alrighty. So, understanding the voices within. So, really simple. This is obviously inspired from an author as well called Stephen Pressfield. And he talks a lot about, we constantly have two counteracting voices going on within us. Alright, so we can say, there's the voice of resistance. So it's that voice that procrastinates. It's like, nah, let's leave it for tomorrow. Who's going to read what I have to write? Who's going to hear what I have to say? And we all have that voice, right? It doesn't matter how many times you overcome it, that voice is still going to be there. But then equally, we have another voice, right? So the voice of our soul's potential, or our Excalibur. Now that's that voice that's like, I'm destined for something greater. I'm being called to live out a mission, a purpose to give back to the world and really make something of myself and leave a lasting change, because, you know, I want to be that 85-year-old later down the line that's sitting there with the gin in one hand, a cigar in the other, and tears rolling down his face, knowing that he left it all out in the park. Now, I know you're the exact same, otherwise you wouldn't be resonating with this video. Now, in order for anything to grow, there constantly needs to be a counteracting force, right? What's the sound of one hand clapping? You can't hear it, right? So we constantly need contrast, because that's life. It's a healthy up, a healthy down, the light and the dark, right? But then we can start to understand, well, are there ways in which I completely give in to resistance? And there's almost, you know, I can run away from the tasks I already know I need to do. Yet, however, there's always that other voice in there that's almost like scratching, that just knows. And the more we follow that, it's funny, because then the more our life force comes online, right? So then that flows with, our life force grows every time we overcome resistance. I know for myself, still, there's times in which I know exactly what I need to do, and even instances I can catch myself where the resistance comes up, right? There's certain areas in which I've completely slayed it, and it's just automaticity now, which means I don't have to think about it anymore, it's just who I am. But then naturally, as you grow and expand, you're going to hit certain walls. Certain level of resistance is going to be outside of your comfort zone. Excuse me. However, every time I overcome it, I feel this greater sense of self-respect come online, and deeper life force and inspiration and motivation. And it's so funny, you know, a lot of us can fall into the trap. You know, I have a lot of lads who come into the brotherhood sphere. It's like, I'm waiting for the motivation, right? It's just not been there. However, it doesn't come. And motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes. But that you generate your own motivation. You generate your own momentum, which is the biggest thing, by taking action on the things that you already know what you need to do. And we can say the things you already know you need to do are the whisper of your daemon or your Excalibur, right? And it's like, it's time to wield that now. It's we can run from destiny as much as we want, but eventually we'll knock the fucking door down. We have to answer the call. So beautiful. If you're watching this video, of course, you're someone who is fully committed to living out your mission. However, it's being honest too. It's like, where am I showing up as the amateur? Where am I giving into resistance? And it's not beating ourselves over the head, but it's starting to look at, well, do I want to be the amateur or do I want to be the pro? And every day we have a choice. Every single day we have a choice. Which flows into, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. Right, like any great boss battle, the hardest ones are the best ones. You know, the greater the resistance, the greater the soul's calling. The fear is there for good reason, because it means we are pushing against the confinements of our comfort zone. And yes, there's an essence of slowly edging out, but eventually it comes to the point in which I have to confront that fear or confront that dragon and start to look it in the face for what it is. And you look at all the best warriors throughout time. Were they fearless? No. Alright? But they were courageous. And courage is not the absence of fear. It's completely okay to feel fear. We all do, right? However, it's bringing courage online. And then it's like, okay, well, what brings courage online? What assists me to go into this cave that I fear to enter? Let's not make it about myself. When I make it about something greater than myself, I will always find courage. However, the spin is when it's just me. All right? So when I start to make it about, you know, the people I will serve, the men I'm going to assist, or the women, or whether it's my future child, then therefore we start to find that courage and that inspiration to start to step forward into the cave. Because realistically, if we don't, someone else will along the line. And I know for all of us, we want to be the best example we can be in the world, all right? And also for our family, for our loved ones, for our friends, for the people we really want to serve. So it comes a point in which we no longer run away from the things we know we need to do and really start to confront them. So awesome. Which then flows into, again, what we're talking about there. You already know what you got to do. Like, we really do, all right? You can do all the courses you want, go to all the seminars you want, but it's going to constantly, and yes, there's value in that, right? Like, there's value in you don't know what you don't know. However, as you walk on the way appears, and then it's showing up day in, day out, no matter what. Now, of course, self-care is super crucial, but at the end of the day, it's just 1% better. So I just do that one task I know I need to do, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because again, we are our own innate guidance system. We are our own innate sovereign being. We are our own king, warrior, magician, lover, joker. We are sovereign in who we are, and it's starting to trust that inner guidance. Because the more I follow that, the more my life force comes online, the deeper trust I have in myself, the deeper aligned I feel with my mission, the stronger I show up in relationships and attracting females and attracting, we can say, abundant relationships and opportunities. It comes from really a reflection of the connection with ourselves and the trust in our own internal guidance system, because then therefore that reflects in our trust in something greater, in life, in the people around us. And that only comes through consistency. It's having that consistency to prove to yourself over and over again that you are who you say you are. And that's a long game. So it's over a long time. Now, again, as I first started on this journey, I wanted things quick. And the harder I tried to push things quick, the worse it got. All right? So it's deeply understanding that it is a long game. And we hear this all the time. But it's so important to understand that. It's not just about being consistent for a week or a couple of months. This is an oath. This is a way of life. The moment I turn pro I'll be pro for the rest of my life. All right. And that's the commitment. That's the mindset. It's not just, I'm going to show up to one game or two games, right? Say we played sports. What good was a player who, showed up only in one or two games, right? We want to find a consistency. And that is over a long period of time. And that is built and fabricated into who we are over a long period of time. And there is no way around it. Just fucking doing it. Again, knowing what we already got to do and just doing it. Feeling the fear, bringing through the courage, making it about something bigger than ourselves. And then, boom, we find ourselves after months and months, after years on end, we are just living sharply. And I now live life truly as a pro, right? And it's like, okay, there are certain times in which I acknowledge I fall into resistance or I fall into procrastination. However, I get quicker in catching that pattern and now starting to fully implement the life that it is I wish to live. And really the mindset and the connection with myself and that deeper trust in myself, which is the most fundamental and important part out of this, because every relationship is reflective of the one with yourself in your life. So awesome, my bros. We are on. We are flowing. Go and have a ripper week. I look forward to the next video next week. The mission beckons. The mission calls. Let's fucking go.